What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. It is Tempered Gaming here, and today we're going to talk about what is the best class in Diablo Immortal. Now, gonna be honest, don't think it's gonna be that surprising, but I did want to talk about it because there are going to be a couple changes coming into the game, which some people think is a big nerf. I personally don't think so. I think it's just going to change the way Battlegrounds is played. But let's talk about it. If you like the video, please hit the like button, please hit the sub. And by the way, I really appreciate all the support I've gotten so far. It means a lot to me. But let's get into it. So first off, Blood Knight. This was my first class. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. It was pretty fast. And then it just kind of sucked. Now, they can stun. They can dash around a lot. Their bats are pretty cool. I've seen like a handful of them that are really good in Battlegrounds, but they have extremely high reso and extremely high secondaries, like for poisoning players and stuff like that. I would not put them, I would actually put it as one of the lowest characters, but it is really fun, especially if you're just getting into the game. It's kind of like a faster pace, like game style, and I did like it quite a lot. Now, moving on to Necro. I've seen other people talk about this character and didn't put it that high on the list, but I would put it around like 3, 4 maybe. So right now the meta is you encase yourself in your golem, and it is pretty tanky, hits pretty hard. It's almost like a mini barbarian, but some of these down effects are you need high secondaries. That's basically if you're going to rock a class like Tempest, Demon Hunter, Necro, basically anything beside Barb and Monk. I mean, even Monk, you're gonna need like high secondaries to really even make the class work. Like Tempest, you need high armor penetration. Crusader, you're gonna need high armor, stuff like that. I did play this recently, and for player versus everything, like farming gear, I used like the spinning bones and lances or whatever, and it was very fun. I had a lot of fun, and I grinded the heck out of it. So I would rank it pretty high up there, but definitely not the best or the strongest by any means. So moving on, Crusader. Now, I don't have much experience with this, and in high resonance battleground matches, I don't see many of them. But it's weird. I don't know why I don't see many of them, because in challenge dungeons, I see them put up, 1 billion damage like nothing. I see them do it all the time. But I just haven't seen it kind of make that transition into PvP. So if you're gonna, go against Heliquary bosses and stuff like that, yeah, I'd put it on a high ranking for its damage output, but I don't see them in PvP. I might switch to Crusader one day just to try to get to know the character. But as of right now, I would put it low just because I don't see them in Battlegrounds. So, moving on to Monk. Monk is formerly known as the absolute worst class that was basically ever made. But it made the greatest comeback, and it is basically the meta. I would put it the second strongest class right now. But, a lot of people are saying if you don't have high armor, it's not effective because you want to keep alive. But the damage is definitely there. I played this character, and it was pretty fun. But kind of like Barbarian, I didn't really like the playstyle. I thought that you were going to kind of be able to move around a little bit better. But when you activate the helicopter, meta, it kind of auto makes you go forward. And I didn't like that. You kind of move in like right angles or squares, or just kind of back and forth. So I wasn't really a fan of that. But in Battlegrounds, all you see are basically monks, and you see a bunch of barbarians. So I would put it second probably best class right now. Okay, moving on to the next one, Tempest. I'm biased towards Tempest. Like I said, I went from Blood Knight to this, and last year when I started playing it, man, it was a absolute tank. They nerfed it like 5 times before it's, an all right character, because it still is a decent character. I just think you need high armor pen to really make a dent. But this character really fell off when they changed. You used to throw like 8 or something like that water daggers, and now you throw 4. And then they just nerfed Flowing Strike and stuff like that. So I would put it like in the middle. I'd put it like above, you know, Crusader. I'd put it above Demon Hunter. I'd put it above, you know, Blood Knight. But that's about it. I still use it. I still love it. It's, you know, one of my favorite things. It does shred, so... But again, I could be extremely biased. Okay, moving on to the Demon Hunter. It's kind of like a Tempest, but it puts out a lot more damage, but it's also a lot easier to kill. I haven't played this character too much, but I actually like the concept of it quite a bit. I wonder if you got high armor, would you be like really good if you just primarily put all your secondaries into getting high armor? Because the damage is there. Like when I'm a Tempest and I have to go head to head with one of them, it's, you know, that's 50-50 for me depending on the other player's stats. Because their damage output is far greater than a Tempest. But they're easier to kill, so it's kind of whoever gets who first. You know, I would maybe want to try that again and kind of get to know it. Now, Wizard. So I was thinking about moving to Wizard tomorrow because they are one of the absolute most annoying classes. When they put out the Rings of Death, they really slow you up, and then they have like this lightning build or ice build. I don't really know. But I definitely feel when you, or what people should do is not kind of stay loyal to one class. So when I switched to Barb, I, you know, maxed out Barb, and I got a really good sense of like when he throws his chains out. Now as a Tempest, I know like the distance, I know the cooldowns, and getting to know a character when you're fighting against them, you kind of almost know what they're thinking, like what they're gonna throw out. It's all like combinations and stuff. I would highly recommend, you know, class jumping to try to get a better understanding. But Wizard, I would not put this at the top tier. I would put it mid. I would actually put it like around a Necro and Tempest. It's definitely not bad, and I like how it controls, you know, the field. But the negative is it is a sure target for Tempest and Blood Knights. Every time I see a Wizard and they're trying to like hole you up, I immediately go and try and kill it. Wizards are like, I've probably killed hundreds of Wizards. But I'm still thinking about changing for it tomorrow, so I guess we'll see. Now, last but definitely not least, as always, it is the Barbarian. I maxed out mine. I mean, it's strong. There's no denying that. It is extremely hard to kill. But I just didn't, again, I didn't really like the playstyle. I don't like being immobile. Yeah, you can like run around a lot with it and stuff like that. But you just basically throw chains out, bring them to you, and just smash them with Hammer of the Ancients. You know, they just sit on idols, and that's about it. But the nerf, I say that way because I don't really view it as a nerf. But apparently, Undying Rage, when you're in Undying Rage, the idol will still move forward even if the Barbarian is standing on it, which I find extremely interesting. But I wouldn't really call that a nerf because Barbarians are still extremely hard to kill, and they're just going to stand on the idol and spam Hammer of the Ancients anyways. So I think it's going to be kind of a cool, interesting, you know, difference. Honestly, I think any kind of nerf towards Barbarian is cool just because they're Tempest killers. Same with monks. But yeah, I'm kind of curious what it's gonna be like with them. But yes, anybody who's joining or thinking about switching class, if you want absolute strength, if you want absolute, you know, just being the one, it's Barbarian. And then I would say monk, and then you can just work your way down depending on how you want to play. It's just extremely strong. But that's all I got for that. Tomorrow I'm going to drop a good farming video. I would just kind of want to help somebody, or, you know, help anybody with farming essences on a nice Monday run. So we're going to see how we do with that. But again, I really appreciate everybody who's been supporting and kind of, you know, commenting and liking the videos. It really does mean a lot to me. And please drop a comment. Tell me who you think is the absolute strongest in this game. Who do you think is the meta? I'd love to know your opinions. And hope to see you in the next one. Later.